Live from Mandeville, Manchester, Jamaica. It is tmintunsjamaica.info. Bringing you facts that you never knew existed. Here is your host, visionary, developer, and program coordinator Courtney Vaughan.
This is Courtney Ashley Vaughan. It is January 1st in the year 2020. Happy New Year. As we enter this new decade, we will be focusing more on economic activities around the world, as well as some of the social and cultural activities in various communities. And our first show will feature a community in the Delta State region of Nigeria called the Eku Community. Joining us in our studio today is Olorogen Kenneth Okpara from the community called Eku Community, which is a small community of around 10,000 persons in Delta State, Nigeria. We will be featuring the cultural festival of the Eku Community that took place in 2019, and this is an annual festival. In addition, we will be featuring festivals in Nigeria that take place within the various ethnic groups and communities around the country over the next several months, leading into September, where traditionally Nigeria has more of climax of these various festivals, and leading into October 1st, when Nigeria normally celebrates her Independence Day. Happy 60th, Nigeria. Welcome, sir. Let's chat about the Eku Community and the annual festival, Eku Echeroko Festival, which takes place annually in your village. Can you tell us a little bit about the festival, Chief Okpara, and how long, your people have been celebrating or participating in this particular annual festival, and probably you can also highlight some of the key activities that happens during the festival.
Okay, thank you very much, Courtney. The festival is a commemoration of victories in the wars that they have over the years. Before, at the initial time, they settled in Eku Community because they migrated from other communities where they first originated to their current location. And while they were there, they were having a lot of invaders, people who come, they have wars with their neighbors and other people, and then they had victory. So this cultural festival they do right from time, you would say over 200 or more years ago since they migrated to the current location. They give gratitude to Almighty God, the deities, and their ancestors. So they do this through cultural dances. It's like praise to Almighty God, the deities, and the ancestors. They also pour what the Africans call the libations. They pour libation during the ceremonies. They also celebrate with slaughtering of cow meat, because they use that to cook to entertain people, and then they drink a lot of alcohol and other drinks are done. Then the festival spans like a period of 7 days. 6 days, you see the females dancers. It will be part of the cultural dances that we're going to show in the videos, where the female dancers early in the morning, they'll be singing and dancing in the main street. There's a main street where the dances take place from one end to the other. They do that. Then the main cultural festival day is the last day, which is like the climax of the whole festival, where everybody comes, not just the ladies, the men, the young people, the old people. They will come, and then that's the day also they will go and carry out the formal gratitude. They will pay homage to the shrine of their deities. They will go there and do some ceremonies, and then they'll come back, and then people will be rejoicing. That's the way it really is done. It's like a whole day event, because it takes like from it starts like in the afternoon, the actual dance, until later in the day, before the day will get dark. Then people will start going home, and you see crowd of people coming from different places, all the citizens and foreigners and friends. They'll travel from far and wide to come and witness the ceremony. So it used to be the whole of the 7 days will be crowded. The town center will be crowded with people, and so the dance take place mainly in the town center. That's like a main street in the town where all the dance, everybody crowds to witness the dances and a lot of things. And after that 7th day, there are also some ceremonies that takes place. You have masquerades that also performs some days after the 7th day, and that's also part of the post-festival entertainment.
Okay, thank you for that, Chief Okpara. That was very, very in-depth, right? And I hope that our viewers will gain the insight that we're hoping that this particular interview will provide. And in summary, the festival lasts for 7 days. It starts with a number of dances, and then it actually portrays various key activities. We are giving, I'm going to say, thanks and gratitude to the gods, to the deities. And can you explain a little bit about the deities? What are deities? Because some persons don't even know that word, okay? And and even when they do, they may just have a different, I'm going to say, definition from just looking in a dictionary or in Wikipedia about the deities. Explain the deities to us. What are the deities, and what is the importance of the deities? Yeah.
This is very important.
Yes.
Because a lot of misconceptions, especially from the Christian communities, about the festivities, and they tag it as a little bit fetish that is not in line with the Christian dictates. But what I want to say, in Africa, before the advent of Christianity, Africans believed in serving the Almighty God. They believe in Almighty God, which is the God that the Christians also accede to. But they were serving that God through deities, some other gods, smaller gods. Before Christianity brought the Jesus, that you have to serve God, you have to go to God through Jesus. But that's where the deities come in. They have these smaller gods for which they think they can approach. They cannot go to the Almighty God directly. They believe in the Almighty God, which is still the same God today that everybody is talking about. But they were serving through these deities. So you see that practice is still carried on up till now. The practice of approaching the Almighty God through the deities and also through the ancestors. They believe that when your father lived old and died, that's the ancestors. They join the ancestors. They are admitted into the ancestors. They go to heaven. And when they go to heaven, they also have access to the Almighty God. So part of Africans pouring libations to the ancestors when they are praying, is a prayer, is to have access to that Almighty God through their ancestors, because they believe the ancestors will listen to them. They carry this practice from Egypt, where they believe they came from. Pour libation and pray to my father, for example, who has passed, or my ancestors that have passed on from my paternal side. I can pour the alcohol because they use alcohol as a medium. On my right toe, the big toe. You know, if I want to pray to my mother's side, that's my maternal side, I pour it on the left toe. These are practices they got. It's a spiritual practice they got from Egypt. You know, they carried over from Egypt where they migrated from. You know, and they still do it today. So that's the practice of libations that the Urobos, you know, the practice. So the deities are tied onto this. The deities, the ancestors, they are part of what the worship. It's not fetish really, because it's like it depends on your mindset. You know, I am a Christian, but I still believe in the practice of. It's not that I serve the deities. You know, I serve the Almighty God. So if I am participating in the cultural festival, it's to give gratitude to the Almighty God, not to the deity. But there's people who believe in the deities till now. They never gave it up, you know, and they worship those deities. That they believe that they can approach the Almighty God through those deities.
Okay.
You know, so that's where the difference lies.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chief Okpara. That was fabulous clarification and perspective about the deities. And I'm just going to say, we're still serving one God, whether you're a Christian or you are using some of the traditional religion that these people practiced thousands of years ago. And like Jesus, we have a singular Jesus, which is the intermediary to God. In the Christian world, you had several Jesuses, right? They're called deities that people would use to communicate to God, you know, as that sort of vehicle. And we know very well about those who have studied some of the history of Egypt, and one can see it even in the Old Testament that there were more of a pluralistic intermediary to God before Jesus came. So that's kind of the best way I feel that I can probably summarize to say I've gotten some understanding or a better understanding of the deities. And for the ancestors, some people do call their mommy, right, who has passed, or daddy, the good angel, the saints in Roman Catholic. People sometimes call the saints, there are various saints, but again, probably communication is done and the little rituals and so on may not be so familiar to Western societies, for example, and we may feel that some of the activities may look a little bit strange, and then people sometimes misinterpret because of misunderstanding. So this clarification today, I think, is valuable, and we are hoping, again, through this medium, thinkmedia.online, and the Team Interns Jamaica program, that we can help to bring the clarity, you know, to the people of Eku Community. And with that, more people would want to come to these annual festivals. We know currently or the past events, right, you were able to attract persons from your community. In Nigeria, probably in the West Africa sub-region, the continent of Africa, and other parts of the world, okay? So can you speak a little bit about the tourist involvement or attraction or participation to this particular festival, and where would you like to see it go in 2020, which is Nigeria's 60th anniversary?
Yeah, we have the capacity. We are a very friendly community, and we welcome visitors. In fact, the Eku Community is not only inhabited by the Robos alone. You have other tribes that live there. You know, it's more or less turned into a township that is made up of different people. You know, so it just tells you how welcoming they have always been right from time, the Eku Community. So we want tourists to come. It's a way of come to visit. If you're coming to Nigeria, you plan to go to Africa, take Eku Community in Delta State. It's in Ethiopia East local government area of Delta State. That's the exact location as one of your preferred destination. And then September is the month where you can come. And they're very hospitable people. And then you will see a lot of local cuisines. We have the Urobo food because others are served in various restaurants. There are also hotels in the community that can take visitors. You can also stay close by towns like Warri, Sapele. They are bigger towns that are close by to Eku in Delta State, where you can also stay in more five-star hotels. I mean, more bigger hotels are there in those locations, and it just takes you like 20 to 30 minutes drive from those cities to come. You can come in and go back the same day. It doesn't really matter, but the essence is to be in Eku for the festival. And then there are other opportunities to tourists that you see. Maybe you want to invest in the community, in either tourism. There's an Ethiop River Ethiop, that's just flowing beside the town, the community, outskirts of the Eku. There are a lot of investment opportunities, also minerals that abound in the Eku community and the environs. Agriculture is also one of the major resources. So you can establish agro-based industries in that community. So through your visit, you get acquainted with the community and whatever development you can do. But you come in first as a tourist. We want to attract tourists from all over the world, not just from Delta State or Nigeria, all over the world, Africa, Europe, America, to come to Eku, and you'll be welcome and you will enjoy your time.
Okay, fabulous, Chief Okpara. Thank you for that. So, viewers, now we have better insight into the Eku community, and that it is really a tourist spot that is waiting to potentially explode in the future. All the attractions are there. There are accommodations. There's transportation system. It's a safe community. And there is also opportunities to participate in business and investment. There are a lot of agriculture opportunities, investment opportunities happening in Nigeria, and this state also offers that. Nigeria is also currently looking to deepen her agro-manufacturing industry, to expand on this industry. Eku Community also offers it, and by the way, Eku is part of Delta State, for those who do not know, and Chief Okpara has a big vision. He's really hoping again that this sort of tourism or tourist activities and festivities can really open up this community to the world, and that people will come in September 2020 to enjoy themselves, to make friends with these people. Many Nigerians are very friendly and open and hospitable people, and we are hoping that again we can help to spread the word to the world and that people will come. And so with that said, can you speak about the population? Around how many persons are living in this particular community?
A small community.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you for that. So the dances that back to the festival, the dances that take place during the festival, is there like a community dance group that organize these dances, or it's just something that is done on a casual basis?
It's a kind of carnival, but it's done by the various sections of the community. They actually have I think 7 streets in the communities. That's the major street. Now you have more than that. But from those quarters, those like quarters, they have dance troops that will be coming to the town square. Where there are some mix of female and male, some are just male, some are just female. Then you have the youth group, Then the female dances that take place like 6 days before the main festival is between 2 rival groups.
Okay.
They call them, Eku is made up of 2 sections. One is called Unwami, and the other one is called Yowori. So the Yowori sections will present their own dance, while the other section, the Unwami, will present their own dance. That's the female one. It happens like that. It's just the 2 sides that does the female dancing. But the other one is just each street, each quarter, we bring. So you have a lot of dance troops coming in. Then now, with the carnival that we've included, we have people coming from other states and other communities. who bring dances, carnival dances, just like in the Caribbean.
Okay.
You know, like in Trinidad, Jamaica, you have dances, people coming from Europe and America to form part of the carnival. You know, so that's what happened. To make it more colorful, we're introducing this carnival nature so that it will not just be the cultural thing.
I see. Okay, that's fabulous. So you're opening it up then, so it can be fun, more activities, and similar to what they're doing in Trinidad and Tobago. That's in the Caribbean, for those who do not know Trinidad and Tobago. And by the way, Chief Okpara has traveled there, so he knows what the Carnival is like. We know that Carnival coming out of the, I'm just going to say the African diaspora, takes place in various major cities around the world, including Washington, D.C., Canada, and London. I noticed in one of your videos here, Chief Okpara, that, or a few of them, that you have like a man, I don't know if it's a man who is dressed up. I see these things also in Jamaica, like a jankunu type of guy. I don't know if you know the word jankunu. He dresses up and he dances. He looks like he's a little horse, but it's very colorful. Can you tell us a little bit about that character?
Yeah, you see, I told you that the commemoration of victories over wars that they fought. So part of the cultural dance is what they call the war dance, the Yoruba war dance. So part of the dresses, some of the people you even see, they hold machetes, cutlasses, you know, like war weapons. Some even carry the native guns, you know. Sometimes they shoot into the air during the dance, they shoot guns into the air. So just to say, it's a replication of their war time, to tell you these are warriors. Some of the people that they idolize and they come even during the dance are some of the warriors. You have warriors in the community. So they dress like in a very hot way to show that these are warriors. These are dangerous people who can take on any enemy at any point in time. And they hold their machetes, that's the cutlasses, and the guns to replicate the time that they had gone to war to defend the community. So it's like the celebration of their victory, and part of celebration of victory is just like when the army has conquered a particular region, and you see them celebrating armies in various places. They will shoot guns and they take a ride and whatever in their uniform. You know, it's part of what happens during the cultural festival.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief Okpara. Thank you for that. I also noticed that, at least in a few of, the events that took place previously, that again, the central figure for a particular activity seem like it's a man. They're in different costumes by color. One wears a red and he dances. Then there's one that wears a white, and there's one that wears a black. The colors, do they signify anything important in the dance?
Okay, I think that one you're describing is the masquerade dance. The masquerade is a reflection of some of their deities, and the colors also reflect those deities that they are also trying to pay homage to. So you see, the one wearing dark color, black, complete black, it symbolizes something. Another one wearing red symbolizes something, another deity. Another one wearing white symbolizes another deity. So they are a depiction of what those deities represent, and is also like paying homage to them, gratitude to them through the dance and through the colors that they wear.
Okay, thank you for that. So the females who dance at the beginning of the festival, or is it just like a dance celebration, thanking the god, the deities, ancestors, or is it one of the three that they're celebrating at that time?
The female dance is also part of the Thanksgiving, but it's done in a different way. It's a form of their special songs they sing in a special way. in those 6 days. It's done early in the morning till afternoon, and then they go back to their residence. So the group dances is just showcasing the cultural dances of the people, because the dance are in various forms, but it's a way of also expressing Thanksgiving. It's also part of the cultural, the whole essence of the cultural festival, as I said, is commemoration of wars. So the celebration that takes place, both the female, the male, they're all encompassing. They reflect the essence of the festival, to pay homage, to gratitude to God, the deities, the ancestors. Those are what takes place, both by female, the male, and everybody, even the masquerade dances that takes place. Is the whole essence.
Okay.
So the whole 7 days dedicated to the essence of the festival, the spirit of the festival. Another thing that happens too, the day immediately after the major festival, the 7th day, is dedicated to visiting the graves of the ancestors, those that have passed on and they have been buried. They will go and visit the graves and pay homage to them. That also happens. You may want to pay homage by just going there, sit there, and say some prayers. Some do the prayers by pouring libation, drink, the grave. That also happens. It's also part of the essence. That's why I told you that it's dedicated to the ancestors, the deity, and the God, the Almighty God.
Okay, thank you for that again, Chief Okpara. And viewers, you're on thinkmedia.online as we present the people from the Eku community and their annual festival, which they're paying rather homage to their god, the deities, as well as the ancestors. And we would just love the chief to just say in one sentence what it is again he hopes that the world will actually learn from this particular coverage of the Eku community and the festival.
What I want the world to learn is that every ethnic group worldwide has a culture, and this culture are reflected by different things. Part of the reflection of the Robo culture, for which the Eku community comes from, they are part of the Robos, because this is the celebration of this annual festival. It's done all over Robo land, all the Robo communities. So if you visit any Yoruba communities, what I want the world to know, just like other ethnic groups, they have an ethnic festival that is done, some once in a year, some are done every 5 years, some are done every 25 years, to showcase the culture of the people. So if you want to really see the culture of the people, how hospitable the Eku people are, come in September during that week. It's a whole week of our festival. It's an explosive, something you've not seen elsewhere. Maybe you've not seen in Europe, in the Western world, in America, you've not seen other parts of Africa. It's unique to the Eku community. The dances, the troops, the song, they are now ethnic, and you will enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief Okpara, as we conclude this episode about the Eku community and the cultural festival that has taken place over the years in Nigeria, and we look forward to continuing our discussion towards the progress that Eku community will be making in the year 2020 as Nigeria celebrates our 60th anniversary. Viewers, you may follow us at Team Interns JA on Twitter or on our YouTube channel at Teen Interns Jamaica. You can further visit our website at www.teeninternsjamaica.info/Eku Cultural Festival. That is Eku as in EKU for further information and updates about the 2020 activities.
This video was produced by Team Interns Jamaica, hosted by Courtney Vaughan, and sponsored by Ologoron Kenneth Okpara, the Chief of the Eku Community, Delta State, Nigeria. Thank you for tuning into our podcast.